my Libra lovers, how you doing? It's MJ from Ultra Love TV. Really happy to be here with you guys. Doing some June 2021 readings. Yeah, mega hot love for my lovers. If you guys want to know more about myself or Ultra Love, you can obviously ingest all of the hundreds of thousands of hours of content on this channel, because I've been broadcasting on this channel since about 2012. And yeah, been on a lovely journey of life, so I love sharing all of it with you. The readings is to offer this community divine guidance and loving clarity. I endeavor to do the live readings nearing the end of the month for the month ahead. Sometimes I come on live and do collective intuitions, which is just my own intuitive sense of the energies. This community tends to serve empaths and healers and people on a quote unquote spiritual journey, which, gosh, all the different ways that we can perceive this changing world that we're living in, right? I personally was guided by an insight of a paradigm shift on the planet over 20 years ago. And here we are now, and there's, the Ultra Love and all of the crazy things that are happening in our world, right? So mega hot love, you guys. I share a lot of yoga, meditation, that stuff, because yoga meditation has been super powerful for my own healing. And yet truly the truest power is nothing outside of it. If it's right inside your heart space, you got it. So yeah, here we go. Girls, what's my business? No, it's just... Anywho, okay, Libra, let's crack on with the reading, shall we? You guys feel free to check us out on Instagram as well. I do sometimes little daily reads on Ultra Love TV Instagram, and I've got a nice person doing social media for Ultra Love, and some stuff on the YouTube channel. So holla, the Team Love Laboratory reigning supreme. Okay, you guys, let's get in. Libra. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my Libra lovers. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my Libra lovers. If you're new to this channel, I do 13 signs, again, based on just what people have asked for here. Libra. Divine guidance and loving clarity for the Libra lovers. Divine guidance and loving clarity for the Libra lovers. You're definitely like moving through a shift of perspective. It says more like leaning toward the end of the month. The whole reading here is it's about the magician. This is about you really stepping into a new sense of yourself, a new sense of power. I'm just hearing as well, weirdly, for some of you, there's like a wind coming in. There's all these fast moving messages, a Queen of Wands. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, a queen of, I'm just gonna like move this. You guys can see the blah blah. Sorry guys. Okay, so yeah, the queen of wands. I'm gonna pull some clarity for these, but like you're definitely having quite a profound shift. There's all these fast moving messages and movement. So 8 of wands I do often see is like getting a message and getting called somewhere, or like having to take getting loads of emails about a certain subject, and then this is actually leading to a certain type of death. And I'm not like, it's not, we all have to embrace and accept that, there is death in life. So it's part of the great mystery, isn't it? So there's a death process, but because it's next to the 8 of swords in the reverse, this makes me feel like you're having like an awakening, which leads to you having a shift of perspective. And here we are, we're on a very today, it's the Sagittarian full moon lunar eclipse, and we know that when we're in eclipse cycles that we're going through massive changes, right? Individually, collectively, what have you. So this is definitely revelation, right? Having information come through that then makes you feel super powerful. And I feel like this is an evolution, because what you're doing is cutting loose a belief system. And this could have been a new beginning. This could have been something that you thought was going to be a certain thing, or you thought was going to move in a different direction. And it was really just all about you feeling powerful, feeling, because in the magician energy, it's a manifestation energy. And it really is you feeling like you have all of the elements at your disposal, that you have all of your tools. You have your wand, your cup, your pentacle, you're connected to the 4 elements, all that kind of stuff, right? So the fast moving energy and the Ace of Swords reverse stepping into the Queen of Wands is really making me feel like either you're going to get inspired, or somebody's coming into your life, or you're just suddenly feeling quite juju, like quite groovy. And then all these messages are coming in. For some of you, I do feel like this is actually to do with work, or to do with like your creative life, right? So you feeling more sexalicious, more mystical, is actually bringing in more inspiration, more messaging, making you feel more powerful. And I just feel like something that was making you feel stuck, and this is an underlying, I would say anyway, this is some kind of underlying like belief system with the Seven of Swords there. I'm getting a sense of like, this is a bit of a loop possibly for some of you that has been happening, and like there's something that the Seven and the Eight of Swords together like this in the reverse is making me feel like a self-sabotage, and that's what's dying though. So the Death card is representative of like, you've been going through this sort of self-sabotaging, either to do with your creative life, and ultimately as well just to do with your manifestation power, your sense of creatorship, your sense of feeling good about who you are and all that stuff. And that's what's going through a death. The death, that which is dying in you, is you being blind to that, or you being self-deceptive, right? That's the only way we could interpret. And sabotage, self-sabotage, I don't think is like a bad thing. It's just like any of us having a bit of a bad habit, or doing something that we're not, and then suddenly we go, holy shit, right? Like, look, I'm definitely doing that, which is inhibiting my power, which doesn't allow me to move forward in my magicianship, right? Because if we keep deceiving ourselves by having these unconscious belief patterns, but then that's what's the Ace of Swords reverse. I feel like you're cutting that out, and then you're seeing more clearly, you're getting lots of inspirational messages, and then you're feeling super duper powerful. And in your power, then you can be like, oh yeah, I was totally blind, I couldn't see that I was doing that, I was totally sabotaging this creative project or this connection with this person. Because for some of you, the Queen of Cups energy could be somebody coming into your reality as well. Somebody who's pretty focused, somebody who's quite bold, possibly like, again, male, female, it doesn't really matter. It's your own interpretation, right? But yeah, somebody who gets you fired up. You know, that's what the fast moving messages is. And it's like, oh, right, there you go. So I'm pulling this in and I'm creating this. And that's what helps you to finally make that shift. And I would dare say you're making it now, you know, nearing the end of the month with this full moon, with this eclipse energy totally coming in for us now. It's like, and we know it. We know the eclipses. We know that these sort of big celestial events can be topsy-turvy, that they can sort of take things away from us, or we can hear news that just kind of blows our mind, right? And that initially can be a bit of a but then once we process that, once we integrate that, of course, we're all the better for it. We're all a little bit more evolved, or we feel more powerful, or we might look back at a past situation and be like, interesting, what was I even thinking then? But that's the power of perspective shift, right? That's the power of claiming your freedom, claiming your mind. And that's the magician right there. That is all about freedom here, Libra. For some of you, I do feel as well that you have been undergoing some pretty profound emotional healing. I would just say for the collective, generally speaking, this emotional healing will continue because it's part of the new way of being, right? It's part of being authentic creators, is owning the totality and recognizing that we're all working with a light and a dark and a good and a bad and a shadow and a projection, right? So it's like, yeah, we're all in this together. It's just like know yourself, to thine own self be true, so that you don't have to be dealing with as much of the razzmatazz of the unconscious, right? So that's the power of choice. And as well, I feel again that's what's dying for you here, Libra, is your unconscious non-choosing, right? The feeling of victimizations, the feeling of not being able to make up your mind, right? And this is, I think, part of that Queen of Wands and the Magician energy is finally you going, oh my God, I just can't listen to other people anymore. And then I pull the Hierophant energy, which is like you just fully being in your power. It's almost like being at one with the highest authority. There is something godly about this, and for some of you, there could be a key, there could be a move, there could be you going to a new property, or buying or selling a property. So this is definitely like a significant shift for you, Libra. Yeah. Something is really, really shifting for some of you here regarding your personal power. Yeah. Like maybe for some of you, it's a sense of emotional mastery. Maybe for some of you, it's a sense that, holy Shazam, like, look at how far I've come. Like, there could be some pretty profound aha type of moment that just makes you go like, holy shit, like, not only am I the creator of my world, but like I'm the master of manifestation or something. Or like, or suddenly something turns around where people are coming to you for advice, or people are coming, I don't know, yeah, there's just this rising, and then like suddenly you're in this position and people are coming to you for advice, or people want to yeah, listen to you basically. And or there is a real sense here as of like you connecting to a higher power. That's part of you being one with the magician energy, right? Yeah, so so this card's pulled up here as the vibrational energy here, and this is like, this is part of the quantum leap for us as human beings, right? Is living in that feeling space and that intuitive feeling, vibrational reality, right? Because that is in essence more true to the science at this stage in the game, right? Like, we're vibrational, we're waveform, we're vibrating cellular energy, and it's like that can be super dense, which we as humans experience as denser, stressful emotion, or it can be higher, lighter stuff. And for me personally, or the, you know, the Fearless Life Guide and the teachings, it's like we just have to kind of get more used to moving through those and trying to be really fucking real with one another about what you're feeling. And so I just feel like you're really coming into your own when it comes to, it's like your understanding of vibrational awareness. I feel that some of you might end up having a news from a court case. You are definitely coming into your own when it comes to this vibrational awareness and manifestation as well, okay? The judge, I am going to read for the judge because this feels specific for maybe one or two of you. There it is, the judge, the critic, the diplomat, the advocate. So the judge has an incredibly important job. They work every waking hour of every day, helping us discern what is safe, true, and just. When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and other. Ooh, I think this is pretty potent. Ironically, the judge's energy can be the seed of racism, bigotry, and fear-mongering. This is the judge out of balance, building walls, separating from other. When this same discerning force is made conscious and healed, however, the judge may be found advocating for civil rights causes, standing up for the underdog, providing resources for those in need, and forgiving again and again. Love is the deciding factor. Awakening this archetype is essential for the complex times we are in. Holla Shazam, right? Get your judge in order. The world needs it. Light. When in the light, discernment, advocacy, right action, compassion. When in the dark, critical, punishing, unforgiving, wall building. Go deeper, Osiris and the white feather of Mahat. Okay, so the judge's energy is contagious. When we feel judged, walls go up around. Similarly, when we feel accepted, the entire world softens. I randomly, sorry Libra, but like, it just made me think of, I wrote one of the first, if not the first blog that I had published by a site. It's actually quite big now. It's called Mind Body Green. And Jason Wacko, that's how I kind of got in and worked with Sarah Styles and stuff like that. But yeah, I wrote, my first blog was called Accept Everything, Judge Nothing, or Judge Nothing, Accept Everything. And that's like this, is that real self-love, we have to be quite discerning with our inner critic. And sometimes, and this is coming out for the client work that I'm doing, and like somehow part of this restrictive lockdown energy is more and more people are realizing how fucking brutal their inner critic is. Again, it's that thing of like, are we our own worst enemy? Like, fuck, I know we can point fingers and we can constantly blame and attack one another, but if we really sit and listen, who is the one that is shaming us, that is judging us, that is being our own worst critic? It's ourself. It's our own God source, right? So it's like, is up to us in our choosing, in the feeling space. Like if we feel like shit and we're all shamed up and we're all, can we be a more loving force for that shame inside ourselves, not from somebody outside of us, not from somebody that then gives us permission to access God, to then access our own divinity. No, 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 it's inside of you. And sometimes every single one of us, I would dare say, has a moment where we realize, holy shit, we are the judge inside our own heart, how we feel about ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we speak to ourselves. Shazam, my love of Libra. You feel me? You know, so it's like, it really is a time of softening, a time of like hardcore compassion to heal the being that we are. And like, it's like, hello. Like, I cry every day. I'm sure there's moments in the day where I just cry for the lack of love, or cry for the times I was so goddamn hard on myself, or cry for all the love that is lost, or, you know, and just, but like, holla Shazam, you feel me? And that is something that was reflected back recently. Somebody said something like, oh, you're always at the whim, and like, it's such a shame because the universe is so tameable. And that really, I thought to I just thought it's so easy when we're all feeling really good, right? And then we can project stuff onto people. And I sort of think I am one with an ever movable energy. And so it's not about a feeling like I'm in control, because I would dare say, and that's only been my personal experience, when I've thought that I am like the master of, and like, I'm in total control of my life. Oftentimes things would happen that would humble the life that I was living, right? And so it's like, sharing joy and sharing love and endeavoring to be that love for self, but that doesn't mean pleasing people. That doesn't mean that we all have to go out of our way to like fulfill other people's agendas. That's not sovereignty. You know, love and compassion is like accepting ourselves and being grateful for ourselves and living the best life that we can and that we know how. But to me, the only true, like, and again, there's such discernment and compassionate wisdom that we all need within this, but like honoring your heart. You know, if everyone's doing that, we have, I think, a really good chance of coming to common grounds and trying to like, in this sort of Gemini North Node access point as well, like have a deeper compassionate understanding of the fact that we're all unique and we're all in a separate path. And, you know, I would dare say, as long as we're in a human body, we have more to learn. We have more to grow. And it's not necessarily like, I don't know. I am not somebody who's sort of living this life like wanting to dominate and control myself or other people. I'm here kind of observing the unfolding of this life experience, which continues to blow my mind, continues to humble me. And, you know, ultimately, like, it continues to feel more like freedom. And that's part of why I share what I share, is because these inner perspective shifts and this like inner noodling, you know, before I started sharing on the YouTube, was just so awesome. And then trying, you know, maybe 20 years ago, trying to share what I was going on inside, and people would be like, shut up, Molly, or like, who do you think you are? Or like, you're talking pure razzmatazz. And then all these years later, it's like, no, there's juicy fucking divinity in all that, you know? And that's just when we're connected to the heart. And because I've always been, like, I've been a lone traveler, and, you know, I've ended up just living this random life, but realizing that that random life was actually connected to a very pure space in my own heart. And intuition, as we know it now, is part of infinite intelligence. It's part of grace. It's part of our divinity. And no, it doesn't make us better than anybody else. And no, it doesn't. Because really, what that energy does is it unifies us with everybody. So I'm not gonna like make people feel bad, but I'm also not gonna I'm not gonna do something that goes against my intuition, right? So it's just like one of those things. And oftentimes, when we really stay honoring of the intuition, it will be quite quick that we're not sure why we don't want to do something or why we have to say no to something, and then we actually say no to something, and then we get attacked for it, or we get, you know, and so you're like, that's why. Because there's layers there, and it's not always what it looks like, right? So holla Shazam, Libra. I just went off on a total tangent, but holla. That's it. You guys are creating a new world. You're really coming into your power. You're overcoming self-deception and self-sabotage. And I actually really feel that is quite a strong energy of this lunar eclipse, and ultimately this total eclipse season, is that for some of us, like, we're gonna just keep seeing more layers of truth that then will possibly very likely shapeshift our perspective, or new energies start coming in. Oh my god, FYI, I just had, like, the last 24 hours I've been doing a lot of meditation and like silent walking and stuff, and oh my god, there's just been such profound insights around the timeline. So the like the finite chronological human timeline that we all agree upon, but then our own soul's expanse, and the like fucking multiple sheaths of creation that we're like constantly like. So basically, it's like things manifest. Holla Shazam! It's just that we're not in control of the timeline because there's all these other souls working it. Work it. Is it worth it? We're gonna bang some, flip it, and reverse it. we're gonna reflip it. We're gonna reflip it, you guys, into new earth high vibratory heaven. I feel like making love, you guys. Let's do this. That's it for me. Nice to see you all here. Thank you guys so much. If you want to know more about Ultra Love Vibratory, then feel free to check out ultralove.com. I am gonna try to do another couple live shares. So where are we now? Libra. Ooh, Scorpio. Scorpio's next. So yeah, I'll come live and I'll come do the Scorpio reading. Holla Shazam, you guys. Peace out. Mega hot love for my lover. See you soon, guys.